I'm excited to keep this
All
momentum
right,
going.
ladies and gentlemen, fight fans, we're going to our 6th MMA fighter tonight as we go to the 170-pound weight class. For your first fighter, making their way to the cage, fighting out of the red corner. Looking for that first W in Octagon, fighting for Team Rock, North Carolina. Please welcome Cortez Bradley.
The fourth fighter from the Team Rock Harrisburg.
Yeah. Busy night.
Yeah, very busy night for Snake. These are 2 debut fighters again. But again, all the debut fighters we've seen tonight look very experienced for debuts.
It's like every show, Team Rock has 4 or 5 fighters that are making their debut. I'm just like, how can you guys consistently find new people?
And Harrisburg's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
You know, even there's Team Rock in Fayetteville, which that's where Patrick Bird was just from, and yeah, where Coach Sess is. And that's, you know, right near Fort Bragg, so you get all the military there. So great training
And his opponent making their way to the cage to the blue corner. Also looking to get that W out of from Lincoln to North Carolina. Welcome, Denis Lipatnikov.
Honestly, exception on games that end in OB, you get an exception, you get a pass. But did you know, Samantha, that in professional MMA, fighters whose last name ends with OV have an 86.6% win rate?
I'm not surprised because I'm thinking of several off the top of my head.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, this makes sense.
Let's see if Denis Lipatnikov can add to the legacy of the long laundry list of fighters with OV last names.
I do have to say I give you and I a 10 out of 10 for pronunciation on that one.
Oh, of course, yeah. I mean, we're professionals, you know.
Well, I am a professional writer.
Sam's extra out of Miami Vice that they pulled off the set and brought him right here, I think.
He did. I'm not familiar with
Saga. He's got a teammate fighting later tonight, Gavin Thomas. I know that, you know, Gavin just got a 15-second knockout in his last fight about a month ago. And I know they've got Smiley Wilkins, who is a champion in TOC, or was a champion. I think he just got his belt back in TOC. And then they've got some other very promising young guys. I think the kid's name is Luke. I was just talking to him outside. He broke his hand at that same show, getting a quick 1-minute first-round finish. So it's a very strong team, a very, very strong team.
Yeah, this was one of the 3 schools that I didn't know out of the 30-some-odd fights on this card.
I bet if I told you all the people that they've got under them, that you would be like, oh, okay, I know them.
Yeah, once you started naming names.
You know Will Ronan?
Yes.
That was the team he was with forever.
Wow, it just shows you like what a small yet big world it is at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, Cortez Bradley versus Denis Lipatnikov.
Good job, Dylan.
Thank you.
The welterweight fighters.
Both making their debut from solid schools.
Oh, Bradley with the overhand right.
Yeah.
And then comes in for a shot.
Not surprised.
Beautiful. Finishes the double leg on Lipatnikov.
Team Rock tends to get their guys really solid in the grappling.
Definitely.
They seem to have a very heavy wrestling and jiu-jitsu style for MMA. And it's not a surprise to me that they were looking to take this fight to the ground early.
Right, and they still had several fighters on the kickboxing card too, so you know they're not afraid to throw hands.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, I would say that out of all the schools that are consistently in this area putting out fighters, they have the most overall skill in all areas, rather than investing too heavily in one department or the other.
I wonder if Dale's about to stand this up, because Lipatnikov is doing a good job of just kind of restraining Bradley and holding him in the guard so that he's not able to do much. And there's a good chance that they're just going to reset them so that there's not really a lull in the action. Though some people are of the mindset that if you get put on the ground, you deserve to stay there until you can work your way back up.
I'm going to say there's a reason they call him Let Him Die Fry. He will, if you get put in a bad spot, you're going to be there until you get yourself out. Dale's very rarely going to go, you know what, you deserve to not be on the ground.
Oh, and Bradley throwing heavy strikes down from inside the closed guard, which is going to force Lipatnikov to open up his guard. But he does a really good job of standing very quickly.
Nice standing base. We finally came up in an adult fight after Eli Young did it so long ago.
And you've probably seen it too. People get knocked out because they don't do that when they stand up.
Oh yeah, I've seen a
double
bunch.
unders for Bradley here. He's got to walk his hips in. He's a little too far.
When I'm rolling with one of my students and they don't stand in base, I submit them every time, and then I go, it's because you didn't stand in base, even if it wasn't because of that.
Well, good. They got to learn. Good knee from Lipatnikov there.
Double
Bradley,
frames.
yeah, I was going to say Bradley's got the frames, but Lipatnikov's got like the plum.
I call those the Gracie self-defense frames.
Here goes good. Drops in for the single leg. He's got to get those hips. Yes, he
Beautiful.
does.
That was beautiful.
Trying to pass into an arm triangle,
And
it looks like here.
Effortless. He looks like he's going to finish this.
Sink those hips to the mat and drive your forehead into the temple. And Lipatnikov looks like he might be ready to
He's just
tap
a little
from
too
here.
high up. He needs to touch his head to the mat and sink everything down.
So yeah, what he's saying is Bradley's got to put his forehead on the mat, drive it into the temple of Lipatnikov, who's doing not quite the best defense when it comes to arm triangles here. You need to start creating space between your shoulder and floor. He's out.
And he's out!
Yes, and that would be why.
Cortez, Bradley puts him to sleep via arm triangle. And you watch this squeeze right here. He's going to reset his weight, watch his hips sink into the mat, and it's going to be over in 10 seconds if a choke is really on, right? That's all it takes.
And right there, it's done.
The time it took between Lipatnikov to realize that it was tight enough to knock him out and for it to put him to sleep was very short.
Yeah.
That means that squeeze was ultra
Well,
tight.
he passed, like you said, effortlessly into that position. Lipatnikov needed to create space by making a fist with his hand, driving his elbow into the back of Bradley to get his arm free to the ground, and then in a desperation attempt could have grabbed his own leg to create that space. But with his arm over like that, there's really no defense there from a choke.
Yeah, I'd love to see that full sequence from the cage wall to the finish because that single leg dump was beautiful too. Did a beautiful job riding the pipe, as we call it, and putting him on the mat, and then melted through that guard like butter.
All right, well, we are 6 fights deep and 6 finishes, and we've seen
I like the pace a
a
lot
little
more.
of everything. We've seen TKOs, we've seen knockouts, we've seen submissions, we've seen shoulders almost get dislocated.
Your winner by
And
referee stoppage due to
someone
arm
get put
triangle
out.
fighting out of Team Rock, Cortez Bradley.
We've seen someone tap to a half Nelson.
Yeah, they didn't even know. Sam didn't even know what to call that.
Winner by shoulder.
Yeah, winner by shoulder. I'm going to start saying
Look,
that
I'm going to
now.
tell you, I remember I was commentating Carolina Combat League when Christian O'Brien hit that move from Williams
Yep.
guard, and the announcer was like, winner by submission? I was like, that's good. Just say that. If you don't know, just say that.